Hi, I'm Anna Martin and this is a mega quick dumbbell workout targeting your lower body. So all I've got is a 5 kilo dumbbells and some bands, and this is my pretend sofa. So you'll have a sofa or a chair or something. I don't have one up here, so I've built a fake one out of this beautiful bench. Let's make sure you're feeling fit and healthy. You are ready to exercise, you're clear to exercise by a medical professional, and you've cleared a bit of space. Let's shove our hand on the wall or a firm piece of furniture and let's get swinging while we have a chat. So today, what I want to do is help you understand what to do with your dumbbells so that you're not constantly combining exercise like a shoulder press with a burpee with a squat. Because actually, when we want to get into that building muscle mindset and that training mindset, swap legs, we need to start working out how we can actually do that with training methods that are going to help to facilitate our goals. So that is what today is going to be all about. Once you've swung your leg back and forward on each side about 15 times, we're going to hit the deck. If you've got a band, don't worry if you don't have one, you're going to slip it on just above the knee cavity. We're all going to lift up and thrust up together. So we are tracking our legs, so they're not bowing in as we get to the bottom. They're going to be constantly working around this band or imaginary band. So whatever you've got, imaginary band life is the one. We're going to lift and squeeze for about 12 reps, 15 reps, and your bones are going to feel magical after this. Really pushing against the band if you can. Squeezing those cheeks, one toward the other. Oh, I'm really lying on my own hair today. Whew. Let's get up there. I mean, don't say that. Keep going, everyone. Just ignore me. Ignore the old perv on the camera. Right, come on up. And we're gonna squat. Right, I'm holding it in, everyone, holding it in. If you've got a band, leave it on. And we're gonna drop down. So you're gonna push your knees open against the band into a nice squat. So push open and drive down. Keep going for me. I'd love around 12 to get nice and warm. I want to do this without the bands on so I can explain a bit better. If you've not done this before, you're going to push through the ball and heel of your foot, opening up your knee a little bit. So it's going to kind of open up a bit from the hip. So you can feel your butt cheeks feeling emotion at the bottom. Give me your last few reps and I'm going to explain the first set to you. It's going to be wonderful. We're doing a bit of arse, a bit of quads, and a bit of core. So it's going to be a superset. You'll grab your dumbbells, or you can go body weight if you would prefer. Or you can use one dumbbell. We're setting up for a Bulgarian split squat with the foot elevated. If this isn't for you, please just do a lunge on the floor. And we're going to drop down over that front leg and down to the bottom and squeeze up. So you might have 2 dumbbells, you might have 1, whatever works for you, but we are going to get all the way down. I'm going to show you this kind of static lunge stroke split squat you could do here. So we're leaning a little bit forward over that front leg for this one. Lift and squeeze. Keep going. You've probably got 3 left on this side. Everything's really stable. 2 and 1. Yes, once you've done, change your feet on here. I'm just doing it here so you can see. We're gonna come down and drive up for another 10. With this Bulgarian, you'll get used to where your feet need to be. But we're gonna drop down, squeeze out. Oh, my fake sofa just slipped a little bit. We're trying to keep all the weight over the front leg. So the back leg is just there as a handy fellow. You've got 3 more, okay? 3 more. Your back leg is just a handy fellow, like a bike kick-out thing. You know what I mean? Right, get all down here. This is our second exercise. We're now setting up for a plank pull through. So you're gonna pull the dumbbell through, pull it through. You can drop your knees if you need to. So you reach all the way through, Drag it over to the other side and then take the arm, reach under you, pull it back. I want 20. Okay, so let's go. If you haven't started already, we need to fight to keep your pelvis straight, flat. Keep going. Lovely. Our core's on fire. Our ass is on fire. What more could we want? Reach and drag through. And I'm nearly done. I've only got 2 left. You might have some more. If you have got more, do keep going. Don't just stop. Don't mug yourself off. Keep it in there. Keep moving. Right, once you're done, you're going to have a little rest, just so you can understand that we're going to do that again. But this time we're going to do 1 1/4 reps. So this is how we would make this harder with exactly the same weight. So let's say I've got 2 lots of 5 here, it's 10 kilos. I've been doing this a while, I've done it with 5, done it body weight, I've done it with 5, I've done it with 10. And now I need to make it harder still. One of the ways that I can do that is to do 1 1/4 reps. Now obviously you'd have dumbbells, but I want my hands free so I can explain to you. So you can either get started with me, we're gonna look for 8 to 10, 1 1/4 reps. So you're gonna pop your leg up in your split squat, we're gonna come down, half, down and up, okay? Down, half, down and up. I went 8 to 10, so you just get started. I want to talk technique. We're doing exactly the same thing as we did before, but it's going to be controlled even more. So we don't want this, okay? It's not like an 80s aerobics video. We don't need to bounce. So if you're doing it in a lunge, you're going to come down, half, down and up. I reckon you've all got 2 more. And this burns. This actually burns. So you're really going to focus on staying in the movement. When you finish that leg, you're just going to swap straight over, take 5 seconds and then get back in. So whatever setup you've got, crank your leg up there. Oh, it could be further away if I tried. So you did the splits there. We're going to come down, half, down and up with a control like no other. Keep going for me. Now as we're doing it, you're going to be burning in all of your areas. You're going to be like, oh my God, what am I doing? Why did I come to this stupid online workout? Well, that is where you're going to get your mind in the anger into your leg. Be like, come on, buddy. We've got this. Don't wuss out on me. I've got dirt all over my body and I don't know what it's come from. Keep going. Drive into that front foot. Push into the floor. Get into your buttock with some real joy. I reckon this is probably your last rep. So if you haven't already finished, give this some right love and attention. Get down there. Do not mug me off. Then when you're done, you're coming up into your plank. You're doing 20 of these. Let's do them together. Don't forget, you can drop your knees. You're getting a break after this. Do not worry. Bring it through. Get everything nice and balanced. Spreading your legs wider will make it easier. Right, I've got 10 left. What have you got? Is your core on like a rock? Yes, I know, I'm like a rock. I'm hard as a rock, me. Last few, the last handful. And my last one. Boom. Right, that was epic, well done. Whilst I'm explaining to you what the next thing is, make sure you have a little rest and a little drink. Okay, we're moving into a B stance RDL or stiff leg, which we'll explain when you get there. So that's a deadlift variation. And we are doing it with a banded extra range of motion clam. So you're going to use probably a thick band, maybe a thin rubbery one, totally up to you. Right. Using 1 or 2 dumbbells, I'm just using 1 because I want to be able to talk to you. not that that matters, I'm not speaking from my hands, but I might be. And also, sorry about my trainers, but they're so comfy, I just can't get rid of them. And I do realise they've got holes in the toes and they're filthy, but I don't care, I just love them. Right, we are taking our normal stance, and you're gonna put your toe roughly in line with the back of your heel, but completely like that. So it's in exactly the same line underneath your hips, but just moving backwards. So roughly just off the back of the toe, we're now going to hinge in this position and drive up. And the training method that we're using in this are slow negatives. So you're going to go 3, 2, 1 and drive. If we can, we want to be quite stiff in the leg on this one because we want to get the hamstring rather than just all of the buttock. So if you can, you're going to soften that knee and drive the hips backwards without softening the knee too much. Right, join in when you're ready. I'd love around 10 to 12 of these. So if you've got your 2 5-kilo dumbbells, we're going to get in it and drive. So your head's going to come over with the movement and lift up. You're not going to look at me or look at yourself in the mirror, okay? Want your head to come with you. Imagine it's the mushroom on the end of a kebab stick. It's got to come with the kebab stick. Yes, you are the kebab stick. Once that's done, I want you to swap straight in on the other side. Count in 3, 2, 1, and drive. 2, 1, and drive. Keep going. Now, important things here, the contact with the floor on this front foot. So I want you to push hard into the floor so you can feel your arse cheeks turning on. We're dropping the shoulder blades down into the body. They can't go backwards in a deadlift, otherwise your arms would be out here somewhere. So we pull them down so they feel like they're attached. Push the butt back up and back. Keep that knee roughly to quicksand up in the knee. Once you've done with your 10, I think you've probably got 2 more. You're going to throw your dumbbells down on the floor. Maybe don't throw them if you've got a ceramic floor. And slip into your beautiful hip circle, rubber or fabric. Now this is a slingshot. It's very tough, very tough. So they're probably the toughest ones. If you've got some fabric ones, they might not be quite so hard, but if you have got slingshots, they're ridiculous. So you might not be able to get tons of reps out. You can come up here, lift and open, pull them apart, drop the hip and open. If that's too much for you, on the shoulder, you can come in here and crank them open on the floor. I've got my car key in my pocket. And I would love 10 to 15. If you've got a slingshot on though and it's hard, let me just get this out. If you've got a slingshot on and it's really hard, you're going to have to reduce the reps a little bit because these are tough. Fabric ones from like a non-specific manufacturer might be a bit easier. Okay, spin, 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 get on the other side. We need to make our buttocks nice and even. So get in there. Oh, just slipped and popped my hip out. Get in there, open up. And really give me that magic from your ass. No, please don't. Oh, God. Right, I think you've got like somewhere between 4 and 7 left. Depending on how stretchy your band is and how much you're going to crank that bad boy up. We are coming in for a second round of this when you're done. So I want you to take a few seconds, work out what you're doing with these dumbbells. If there's a way of making them harder, like maybe you can hold the 2. If this was a bit easy for you, even with the 3-second negative, I want you to add in now a 5-second negative. So we're gonna make it a bit slower again. So get set up, one leg, then the other. We're gonna come over. We're gonna squeeze. 1, 2, 3, 4, Yes. We're trying to keep our hips nice and level and our head, our mushroom head on the end of that kebab stick. You've probably got around 6 left on this side. So we're gonna get right in there. You can bend your knee a bit more and make this a bit more gluteal if you want to, but if you're kind of bendy, we're gonna really work on this and drive. Whoosh. Right, I'm on my last 3, then I'm gonna swap legs and I'm coming into that banded extra rom clam. Once your hamstrings are in it to win it, let's swap over and come straight on in there. Push hard into the floor. And don't forget, slow it down even more if it's not quite doing it for you just yet. Okay, I've got 6 left. I'm just gonna turn to face the front so you can see that my knees aren't really moving. It's just that angle of my hip. And obviously my knee is softening because I don't want to be too stiff in that front leg. Right, you've got a couple more to go, 2 more to go. And then throw your dumbbells down, lob them on the floor, and then put whatever band that you have on around yourself. We're gonna come right up and down in this. So this band is quite light. So it's not really doing it for me that much. So what I might do is stay open and keep the range of motion just at the top where it's more difficult. Or I could change it, if my band's too stretchy for me, I could change it and come into like a straight leg side raise, something like that. So then the band feels harder because it's got to be longer. Can't do this with that thick band around your ankles. By the way, it would need to be around your quads. Otherwise you'll rip off a leg. Once you're done, I want you to spin and swap onto the other side. Get in there. If I'm going too fast for you, by the way, don't forget the whole point is there is a pause button. We're gonna crank it open. Oh dear, I can't be cranking anything. My arse is exhausted. It's got no more crank left in it. Right, you've definitely got 2 more reps even to hit the 8. And then when you're finished, you need to remove your band from your person. And we'll wait for everyone to catch up. Well, actually, we're not going to, but we are gonna just have a quick chat. Right, we're coming right into the last thing. It's the very last exercise. We're doing a single leg or B stance glute bridge. You're gonna pop your dumbbell over one hip. It sort of sits over your hip into a mixture of your side buttock and side crotch. It's actually relatively comfortable. So you can have a B stance, which obviously is in line with the toe, and you're gonna lift up and pause at the top, or completely body weight, you don't even need a dumbbell. You're gonna thrust up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower. Then drive up fast and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're doing this 3 more times, and then we're gonna speed them up, okay? So this is another way of making it harder, is leaving a pause at the hardest part of the rep. So now, when we're fighting against gravity at the top, I've got 1 more like this, and I'm gonna crank it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1, yes. Now we're switching buttocks and do exactly the same on the other side. If you can do single leg, do it. I'm gonna do B stance this time just to show. We're gonna come up and hold for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Slowly lower, and then squeeze up, push, and hold. You might be able to take your leg away after you've built a bit of confidence and you've done this exercise a few times. Holding for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift, keep it up. Try not to let it drift down before the end of that 5 seconds. And again, up we go for 5, 4, 3, without a rest. Let's go, thrust it up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yes. Release that dumbbell from your body and give yourself a pat on the back. I promised this would be 15 minutes. I think it's 20 now. So if you want to do that single leg glute bridge thing again, please do so, but I've already fibbed enough telling you this was going to be 15 to 20 minutes. So I'm going to chop along and get off your screen. Please do it again. Let me know in the comments if you enjoyed this, and I'll be back with more videos very soon. Thank you for joining me.